Podcast.
Alan's not dead.
4 people on the podcast.
You don't know that for sure.
The 16:9 format
one's
was
clapping.
built for
Not on the
4
surface.
strings. I want to show you guys.
Please clap. Please clap
show you
for
guys.
being alive.
I'm gonna show you guys. It's not a life hack, but it's a life pro tip. I'm gonna show you how to make the best energy drink ever. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you know what Bang is? This stuff's actually god awful. This is a crime against humanity. I don't know how this stuff is legal.
Blue
It takes me about
Raz.
4 days to drink one of these cans.
Are we
I know
getting any
Sandra,
money from them for this?
No.
Like
Well, I
Raz?
just shit talked it. I said like this stuff is actually.
I have an energy drink too,
What is yours?
called Guru.
I have a soda from Fat Sal's, home of the fat sandwiches.
So you take a Bang, you pour a quarter of it into a cup.
You're already losing all the fizz. I'm offended already.
That's fine, doesn't matter. Then
Yeah, that's not the
what you do
important part.
is you take soda water
and you
and
dilute
you
it.
fill
Topo
the rest of it up with soda
Chico.
water.
Nice.
Right? So you're diluting it slowly. I should get it close to the mic so you can get the sounds. Oh, it's like a Coke commercial.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. And then what you do, there's one last step.
You throw it in the garbage.
No, there's a secret ingredient. There's a secret ingredient. This looks bad.
Yeah, what are you doing down there, Will?
Possibly be.
A Yakult. You put a
Yakult.
Yakult into it.
Oh, come on, no.
Oh shit.
Oh no, it's overflowing. I hope your keyboard wasn't nice.
All right, can you guys do the beginning of the podcast without me? I gotta change my pants.
Welcome to Safety
No,
Third.
I need help.
Alan,
Chelsea.
you don't
I need
get to
clean it.
introduce.
I need you
All
to
right,
clean.
sorry, Nigel. Go for it, Nigel.
I've never had it overflow like that
Everyone's
before.
forgotten who you are,
And
Alan.
I can't
you have
believe
to be
that.
introduced.
God, now there's more stains on my chair. This is so embarrassing.
No, you have to do the intro, Will.
No, don't put it on my mouse pad. You're gonna get. You know what? It feels like what's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Batman, the Mr. Freeze guy? It feels like
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze peed my pants.
Nice to meet you. Am
Oh,
I
no,
right?
I'll go get my own pants. I can't change my camera. Okay,
go
you guys
get my
take it away, guys.
Yep. On this week, we're gonna be talking about YouTube. Just assume.
Do you know how many stains are on this chair?
Why are
How
you
many of
sitting
them
in
are?
them?
How many of them are drink related, and how many of them are
They're questionable.
other things?
They're questionable. The colors are
It's
questionable.
Will's special Yakult. It's this.
Oh no!
Honestly, though, I've taken a Yakult before and then just added like a shot of whiskey to it, and you absolutely cannot taste the whiskey. It's actually kind of like a magic elixir for mixed drinks.
What is that stuff?
It's like
It's
a
like a-
fermented milk.
it's
It's,
like a
almost like a
yogurt
yogurt
thing.
drink.
It's
yeah.
like a probiotic,
Yeah.
probiotic yogurt drink. It's really good.
I like it.
If you have
I've had it
upset
before. I
stomach all
just
the
never
time.
knew exactly what it was.
Someone gave you a little bottle of white stuff and you just downed it without ever asking.
You wouldn't. It doesn't taste like it. It's totally fine. Like it's
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I really like it. It's like
he's
channeled
cute
my
but
inner
crazy
Alan
and bad.
Pan for that one when they handed it to me.
yes. Don't question. Just put it in your mouth and swallow it.
Wasn't that cool? Do you like my life pro tip? Oh, I can feel it coming from the seat up into my butt. Damn it.
Yeah. So, like, do you have to do every single one of those steps for it to work, or can you skip the one where you spill it all over everywhere?
Well, no. You have to spill it all over.
Wait, you want to know what the real pro hack is? It's not energy efficient.
Okay.
What are you
It's not.
reaching
It's not
for?
efficient at anything. It's this thing.
Wow. What's that?
Is that
It's a little
bullet?
drink. It's a little.
That
no,
is
it's a-
100% something Nigel would buy.
it's so that if you're sitting there with your drink, you leave it in there.
No.
And it stays
You can heat
like,
it up.
Yeah. No,
You
it,
can heat your-
it
you can heat
stays
your
like
energy.
freezing cold for hours.
Wait, you have like a tiny little refrigerator, but for a single can of energy drink, and it's just
Yeah.
it just fits
Because he
one
doesn't
of
leave
those
his
in
chair.
there.
He just sits in his
Wait,
chair
I
12
mean,
hours
do you have
a
to
day.
plug it in, or is it like something you freeze first?
No, you plug it in. It's a little like Peltier.
Peltier
Yeah.
cooler.
It works well. It's like you just took it out of the fridge, except for the entirety of the drink.
But isn't your fridge like 20 feet behind you? I can see it from where you're sitting.
Yeah,
Like, the
but-
kitchen is right behind you.
Yeah, but if you the classic thing, like if you any
You didn't have to
drink,
do him like that, Alan.
no, but
like,
that doesn't.
I'm pretty like I.
but
can,
Alan, it
I
doesn't
mean,
fix the problem at all.
there's
You're right,
not
I
like
can
a
see a
straight
toaster oven
shot,
back
but
there.
it's like the right
Yeah, it's right
behind.
there.
I know exactly
Nigel,
behind
scoot a little
that
to your
door.
left. Scoot a little to your
There's
left.
a
can't point my
refrigerator
camera
there.
Scoot a little to your
No.
left. Nigel, scoot a little to your left.
No, why?
Yeah, because that's going to hide it. I'm trying to hide the fridge.
Oh,
Scoot you a little bit more. I can still see it.
No, that's the fridge. It's gone. That's
know,
the fridge,
you
the silver thing.
Like, you need to have refrigerators every 10 feet from here all the way to like your mezzanine and
But-
your lab, so that you can always have a drink.
But
within
right,
reach
and you
that's
just put it
cold.
right back in the fridge, so every time you walk up and down the hallway, you have a fresh, cold drink.
I don't understand. Like, so having if you had to put your drink back in the fridge every time you sipped it, that'd be a miserable experience.
Miserable, absolutely miserable.
If you had to get up, go to the fridge, put it away, come back, sit down. You want to get a sip, you leave and get it. Why would you even
Nigel,
do
are
that?
you wearing adult diapers right now, or do you get up and go to the bathroom?
No, I have a specially designed chair.
Yeah, imagine
Alan.
if Kevin was wearing an adult diaper when he just got up. How amazing that would have been.
Kevin's just like, but then why would Kevin need to get up? See, that's the
what
real
a
question.
miserable experience having to get up.
No, so it's like, I mean, the classic thing is if you get any drink out of the fridge within like what 15 minutes, if you don't drink it, it's or 20.
gotta
I'd
drink
say.
your drinks fast.
It's like
Undrinkable.
room temperature.
Undrinkable.
I didn't say it was
I-
undrinkable.
I definitely
I'm saying
don't
it's
think,
undrinkable.
I don't let my
Oh,
drinks
okay.
sit that long. They don't last that long around me.
Energy drinks I can't drink super quickly, or else you just kind of like explode.
That's why I do. Actually, I don't really want to show it again.
Yeah, dude, you gotta do the whole thing again.
I don't want to show it again.
no, please, I forgot. I've forgotten
Oh,
about the
no.
process.
Oh,
Do
what
you
do
not
you got
have
there,
100
Kevin?
of these somewhere, Nigel?
Oh, the koozies. What do you call those? Beer koozie? I call them beer koozie. I think.
Koozie, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't keep it as cold. I like drinks when they're really cold.
I think.
If it warms
know
up,
what?
like if you're using one of these
This
and
is-
it warms up by the time you're done, it's
Yeah.
going to be flat already.
This is not a hill I want to die on.
No, so
I will.
I think the big thing with me is
Something.
I think that for whatever reason, like when something's basically as close to frozen as possible, I feel like it tastes the best. And the moment it gets like I don't even know a few degrees above that, I just don't like it anymore.
You can start
Because
to taste it
does.
more.
You can't taste it.
And I think that's why. So like energy drinks, I like when they're like basically almost frozen. But same with
Yeah.
sodas. I like when it's like really on the verge of being frozen.
Yeah, that tracks.
So even like when I go to the store and I buy a drink, I will literally wait until like I'm as close to to the cash as possible, so it doesn't cool down while I'm waiting.
I think I don't particularly enjoy the taste of energy drinks, and so I do. It's like a utility. Like I drink it to get the job done.
Yeah.
So I don't. I guess I
What
don't
is
really
the job?
care. To make
To
me
stay
more,
alive.
Yeah.
Make the shakes go away. He just has to
Yeah.
feel normal.
To make you
So I don't know, because I agree. I do like cold drinks, but I think my bar is much lower for putting effort into keeping it cold. But
Well, I mean, it's not much effort. I mean, I bought it
I
like
do.
2 years
Well,
ago.
you got to go buy a thing, and then the planet dies because it's
That's not effort on your part.
That's not my problem. I'll be dead long before the planet dies.
You're right,
If I
actually.
the real
refrigerate my
secret.
drinks, I'll drink them too fast. It's too accessible.
The
So
you
like, I'll
drink,
just
you-
drink it warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've drinking like
Drinking.
open Red Bulls that I've left in my car before. Like, have you ever left like a Red Bull in your car
Okay.
and like heats up
I'm
and
gonna
then your
go through some
entire
of the
car
comments
smells
on the
like
dog food
Red
video.
Bull? Yeah,
I've done
okay.
that once.
I want to go through. We need to go. Alan needs to hear these.
Yeah, I
used
haven't
to do it a
looked
lot,
at the
but I
comments
stopped.
at all for that video.
These actually, I think, are some of my favorite comments I've ever seen.
For what? Which one?
dog food versus human food.
Oh yeah.
Was Alan a starving animal at some point?
Yeah, I saw that.
This guy will eat whatever he has access to. Dumpster eggs, car nugget, dog food. all gourmet to this Giga Chat.
I saw that, and I was like, you know what? I agree.
The
oh my
question
God.
isn't if Alan would eat something. The question is how to stop him.
I wish
Today,
I could
Alan
disagree
found
with
out he
these.
can save 15% or more on his grocery bill by switching to dog food.
I wish I had a disagreement here. I wish I could say like, no, that's not true. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty much.
I love how this went from a methodical experiment, genuinely comparing dog food and human food, to everyone just trying to trick everyone else. Except for Alan. He was just there to eat. The real question is, where on the scale from Alan's dumpster food to Will's Desiccated chicken nugget. Does dog food sit?
I would rather eat the chicken nugget again for sure
Than the
compared
dog
to the
food?
dog food. Yeah, I would eat the because the dried chicken nugget almost tastes like a regular chicken nugget.
Chicken nugget tastes like dirt. What are you talking about?
When you have the two side by side for comparison, it wasn't that different versus the dog food, which like just like the grittiness of just all the bones that are like that they left
And the
in there.
liver.
It just is like real, yeah. The weird richness is really unpleasant actually.
Not a great.
Yeah, but like I mean, not impossible to eat. I definitely ate a lot of dog food that day.
Anyway, sorry for interrupting you. Continue your story about drinking a Red Bull that had been sitting in your car for a week.
Yeah, so when you leave a Red Bull open in your car and it like gets hot, your entire car ends up smelling, you know that Red Bull smell, that
Oh,
flavor,
yeah.
it's like so distinctive. And it like I really like it when it's cold, but then when it's hot, it's like acrid. It is
burns.
acidy in your nose. So I guess what I'm saying is I still drank it.
Long story short.
Yeah, long story short, I drank it.
I was thirsty.
I mean
Why, Alan?
well, do you ever do that thing where you go in the living room and like with a cup of water that you've just gotten in the kitchen, and then you see like there's like 2 or 3 other like half-filled glasses of water.
Oh, you're like,
oh
oh.
no.
I don't have that problem because I just use a water bottle. But when I was at we lived at our studio that burned down, I would just use the same cup because it was small enough that like you couldn't really hide cups anywhere. So it's just a cup on my desk, and it starts getting like I would never. You know, it was like the generation soup. What do they call that?
Oh yeah, like the
yeah.
100-year-old like pots of soup. Where it's like this continuous.
My cup of water always had water in it, right? So I never washed it. It was just like this generation cup, and it started building up like hard water line.
You know when you get a margarita and they like dip the rim of the cup in salt? That's like, is that what the rim starts to look
Yeah.
like after a while?
But it really got me thinking about, you know, where a clean cup ends and a dirty cup begins.
There's got to be some fluoride concentration that makes it dirty officially.
This area right here usually gets filled with drinks, and I have to clean it every week before the podcast because it gets about this tall.
The podcast is
God.
keeping Kevin's
It's
life
like,
together.
It's like running into like your past lives. It's like you're like a reincarnated bug, and then you like realize that you were actually a person before because you see all the other cups that were
The
left behind.
remnants. You're like, who broke into my house and made a mess?
I always have 2, and then it's when I show up with a 3rd is when I go, how did this happen? And then I take the other ones
Like,
back.
What have I done?
But what's your limit? What's your 30, 40?
I say 4. I say
40,
4. Once
40.
once I'm like on the 4th cup,
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're-
oh my god, something's
Alan,
gone
how many
terribly
cups do you
wrong.
have?
8.
Roughly 4 cups.
Yeah,
it
once I'm 50% through all of my cups, that's when the trouble starts.
When I go to get a new cup and there's no new cups, that's when I know that I need to get rid of the old cups.
I'll tell you what, I still haven't found my limit, but I found my girlfriend's limit.
What's hers?
Probably about
all.
6 or 7. She'll just come in my office and start like as many. She can probably fit about 3 cups in each hand.
Oh, so that's why it's like the limit
the
of
limit.
the amount that she can take away with her, with like the pincer maneuver.
Michael used to drive me nuts when we lived in the same house together, because I would go to Costco and I'd get the mega packs of soda water, the Kirkland brand soda water, and he because he was drinking like way too much sugary stuff, and I was trying to push him to Kevin. Why is yours not recording?
Oh,
It says refresh the page.
oh, he's gone. We've lost him.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, what was I saying?
Michael,
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
I'd get like 2 pallets. So I think there's like 36 or like 4. There's a ton of soda waters on these pallets, and I get 2 of them. And Michael would the instant he stopped, he like started. I think he was drinking Monster, and I like convinced him to drink less Monster, and he didn't like soda water. He was like, you know, adamantly against it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it was just like nonstop soda water drinking. And I remember walking into his office, and there was a tower of
I
soda
remember
water.
that. He had it in
cans,
a
the Kirkland
video,
ones.
I think. It was like,
Yeah, I remember there was one video where it was I think the car video where we drove the cars.
he
Did you ever see when we
tweeted
tried
it.
to drive the cars across the lake?
Oh yeah, like the RC cars.
Yeah, and I remember that I said I was trying to get him to go to the park, And I was like filming in his office. I came in his office and he's like, okay, only if you don't show any of this in the video. That was the agreement. It was to not use the footage. I think it was a little worse. I think there was like some some fast food trash on the ground too. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that bad. He wasn't dirty at all. But the pile of soda cans was extremely large.
That's impressive. It's just impressive.
Yeah, the fact that it was like so bad that it was like blackmailable is like that's something.
Damn it! I need to.
Are you spilling on yourself again?
I have a drinking problem.
Is this also like a life hack, or is this just you not being able to hold a drink
that
properly?
I'm just a mess. Anyways, how was Canada?
The Canada.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Nigel, have you talked about Canada yet on the?
No. I've been leaving you to.
I really wanted to go to Canada, and my plan was to bring our remote podcast setup that we built out with the new cameras and stuff. And then I had to I couldn't because I had to finish that video last minute.
We almost tried to film an actual safety third, but like just minus you because halfway through we were like, oh, Will's not gonna be able to come, and we had like a mind to actually like do an entire safety third and just like present Ian Doki with like this footage that he doesn't ask for. It's just like it was gonna be me and Nigel and Jake and James.
Yeah.
That was the plan in our heads, and then when we showed up there, we immediately realized that would be impossible. It would be completely 100% impossible to film with all of us there. So we just didn't.
I also forgot all of the audio
hard.
equipment.
Like, I mean,
we brought no cameras or
I think
audio.
I was like, oh, we'll just use James's. We'll use James's, and we showed up to the Hax's place, and we're like, oh wait, no, we're not gonna do anything here.
I for a while have been thinking about building this like remote podcast setup. So, you know, I don't know. People underestimate the amount of work that goes into making anything, even like a stupid podcast like this. Is
Stupid.
Okay, are we lying now? An excellent podcast like this. We did the math last episode about how much of people's lives we waste with this crap.
God, I hope it's a small amount.
It's about 1%. It's about 0.6% of their week.
Oh, that's not bad.
Of our
Could be
week too.
worse.
I think that's
Yeah.
what we were doing.
Oh yeah, we could do 3-hour podcasts and get over a full percent.
I mean, if you multiply it though by like 100,000 people or however many, like a
You think 100,000 people watch this?
I mean, that's some of them, right?
Some of them, yeah.
Some of like you're doing 0.6%, but over 100,000
true.
people. That
Just check
adds
the
up more than
analytics
us
and
wasting
just-
our time.
Just check the analytics. See how many hours are collectively wasted every 20
Like
minutes.
like
not
total
logged
man
in.
hours. Like at what point? Like when could we have sent a man to the moon instead of doing the podcast?
Is that your guess? Okay, I can. What we do in the past 28 days?
Well, how many views did the channel get? I
I'm
don't
going to
even
say
know that.
a 250,000 man
I don't know. I'm
hours
not even
a
logged in.
month.
Wait, I'm gonna see how many man hours to get to the moon.
I'd say 52,000. 52,000.
I'd say 250,000.
Okay. When I get an answer, I will share it. But I guess what I was getting at is that setting up all this equipment and doing it is like way more work than you think. Even running a couple of cables to the microphones and getting stuff set up and testing, like it's actually kind of confusing how much effort it is. I mean, you guys remember in Japan we were trying to set up in the Airbnb and it's like dragging things around and rearranging and trying to figure out the lighting and stuff like that.
I think it's similar for any, like, if you don't have a setup that's already in place, and like you guys all do this, if there's just something you want to film and you're like Kevin does this a lot, you need 3 angles, there's a high-speed camera, there's a GoPro.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 45 minutes and then all you did was just drop something. And you're like, okay,
I know,
that was
man.
like,
It drives me crazy.
like it's just so much time
And
just to set everything up. Yeah.
I always used to think it was weird that people would buy like a camera specifically for something and they would like lock it down and never
That's
move
what I
it.
do. Yeah.
Because well, I mean, I do it like this camera here
it doesn't
is like
do it.
that now. I mean, I showed you guys what I did. I bought these like microphone arms that are heftier, and so I can hide it behind the monitor and stuff. But it's like a huge pain in the ass. Like if I have to set the green screen up in the garage, it's a huge pain in the ass.
It
And
takes
so I
like a
just-
few minutes. It's always
Yeah.
like, it just adds up.
But I've been thinking about building a podcast box that has like the XLR cables, I bought extension cords, like the reels, the retractable ones, because they have 3 terminals, right? You've got ground, neutral, hot. And I took an XLR cable and I like pulled the extension cord out, stuck an XLR cable in there, and it works totally fine.
Oh yeah, so you just use the connector?
Yeah. So I was, well, no, not a plug. It's actually, I switched everything to XLR, but
Yeah.
I was thinking of making a box that you can put everything in a Pelican case, and it's like mounted permanently in the Pelican case.
Oh, I see what you're
And
saying. Yeah.
you extend out the cables to the mics, and then inside of the case are all the electronics and everything that, because there's like, there's a
Oh,
couple
so you're talking
boxes
about
here
using
that
those
I've
like retractors for the extension
Yeah.
cords. Yeah.
Yes. So having XLR cables come out, so you like open the box, and like sitting on this like top panel are these like retractable XLR cables that you like pull out, and then you put them to where you need to go. And so it's like trying to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah,
I
that
still
would
think
be
it would
awesome.
take
Brain.
it would take 2 Pelican cases, 2 big suitcase-sized Pelican cases to do this whole podcast, and that would be like as compact as possible.
Because you could
It's
have
a
you could have a
lot.
TV screen on the top of the Pelican case that folds out, the mixer down below with all the XLR cables, and then like all the mics and stuff in the other one.
And
Yeah,
the stands.
exactly.
if
So you'd
you
have to
need
have
them.
mics and cameras in the second Pelican case, and tripods and stuff like that, and then all the recording stuff in the other one. So it's still then like we go to Canada and it's like like you have to have 2 bags, and you have to check them, which sucks. I mean, what happens when you check bags on airplanes is
Well, that's what the guns are for. That's supposed to. That's like supposed to be like a hack that photographers use, is because if there's a firearm in your check-in, they have to treat it a lot better than if it was a normal bag. They can't just throw it around. It goes through like an entirely separate process
Because of the
And
implications.
so it's like-
I feel like this is a good short.
of like
Yeah,
doing it, like trying
doing
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan
Okay,
just
because
goes
it's
to
like I
jail.
think what the way like I mean here's a day in the life of someone in jail.
I was like, "There's a gun in my bag." They just
Well,
they
yeah,
just-
I've okay, so
They just
I haven't done this
arrest you.
before for like making sure like a video equipment gets treated nice, but I have done it when I was visiting my family in Illinois, and I still had a video to do, and I had to bring a dummy launcher with me for some of the footage. So it's like it's a device for training hunting dogs, and it just looks like a big gun, but it uses a 22 caliber blank to like shoot a dummy. And
Yeah.
so it's like the dogs learn to associate the sound of gunfire with like a duck falling out of the sky. And it's like it's not technically a gun, but I think you still have to like treat it like it because it uses like blanks.
Yeah.
What was the rule? It was over barrel is fine. So if your
Over the
projectile
barrel.
is over the barrel, it's not a
Yeah,
gun?
because the dummy
that
launcher has like a vent hole that goes out diagonally, so it's impossible to stick any kind of ammunition or projectile.
But it still
in there.
shoots something forward.
Yes, but it's over the barrel.
Right.
It's fine.
what does that mean? What do you mean over?
I mean, I don't
the barrel?
care. I just
It's like, instead of putting a thing in the barrel, the thing
slides
fits
over.
the
Oh,
barrel.
Yeah.
okay. I thought you meant literally like above the barrel.
the
I was
bullets on the
that doesn't
outside.
make any sense.
Yeah. Outer bullets are okay. Inner bullets are not
I was like,
okay.
but then how? What? This makes no sense.
So what if you put a knife on the end of the dummy? Like,
Then you could definitely like fuck someone up.
Alan, it could be like my arrow gun where you slide the carbon fiber arrow
yeah,
over the barrel.
over the barrel.
and then
that's
you
fine.
shoot like a 1000 FPS carbon fiber arrow.
It's through a 2x4. It goes right through a 2x4. That's fine.
It's fine.
That's okay.
It's not even. I mean, it might because in Canada it's not even classified as a firearm.
No,
and
yeah.
it's a lot stricter here.
I mean that's like I think Slingshot channel. What's his name? Jorge Sprav or whatever.
you
Like
got much closer than I could have.
Jorge is I don't know, but like that was like Germany's got really strict gun laws, and that's why like in almost all of his videos where he's like doing pneumatic stuff, it's all over the barrel because they don't even let you do inside the barrel for pneumatics.
Yeah, you can buy these on Prime too,
Yeah.
on Amazon Prime. So, wait, it does say that
totally
California
fine.
disclaimer. Oh, that's just because it'll give you cancer.
There are a lot of things that you can't buy here. Like you can't buy, or I don't know if it's laws or if it's just Amazon, but like you can't buy airsoft stuff on Amazon.
Well, here.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I mean,
didn't know
I
that.
think
No,
like
it's
I've
true.
tried. I
It's-
remember trying in the.
Yeah, because I have like a super glue remover that I bought here before, and I needed it one time when I was at your place, and I tried to buy it, and they don't have it because it has like a chemical that's banned in California.
Too
You
cancerous.
can get super glue removers here though, just not the cancer one.
It'll cause cancer. They just didn't do the research yet.
Yeah, that's how you know it works good, because it gives you cancer.
You know what? What? Oh my God, Kevin!
What?
You have the most expensive camera here.
What happened to it?
You're just black. You're just dark.
Okay.
I don't even know, man.
This is okay. I think this is
It's
okay.
plugged
We
in.
were talking about like
It's
setting
right
stuff up
now.
earlier. This is why having a dedicated camera is actually like not a bad idea, because Kevin uses this camera for his videos too, and like plugging it in, taking it off, replugging it in, especially with USB. Is it USB-C or what is it? Micro?
USB-C.
I don't know what it is then, because I feel like USB-C, especially on a name brand camera, should be pretty robust. But
What I like is just a straight HDMI out.
is that what you're doing?
Oh, there we
I'm doing
go.
that too.
Yeah.
Oh, it says
Like,
the
into a
internal
capture
temperature
card.
is too high.
Oh, you're
How hot is
you're
it in
gone
Florida
again.
right now?
Yeah.
What? I mean, Kevin sent a preview of one of the shots of his video, and it was like super like jarringly shaky.
What's weird is I
And-
didn't notice that.
You did or didn't?
Didn't.
Oh, you didn't? I don't know. My eyes are pretty
No,
fast
normally
for stuff
I'm like
that.
really even after I saw your comment, I looked at it and was like, I don't really know what he's talking about. I'll look at it again.
So it was recording at 120, right?
Yeah, and with the super
And so
high.
Kevin
shutter
was
speed.
doing like YouTube, like the sort of like vlogger cam with that camera, and then setting it down to record.
looks like a
but left it in
GoPro.
120. Yeah, it's weirder though. Like there's something horrific about frame rates that fast. I don't know, what is the actual video file frame rate? Is it 60 that you sent?
Yeah. So it was like downsampled from 120 to 60, but I was shooting at like 1,000 frames or like 1,000th of a second shutter speed.
One time John set one of our cameras, we're doing an egg drop, and we're filming up in the crow's nest up in the attic on the roof that we'd film in, and he left the camera in 120 frames a second, and it just looks so bad. It looks like, I don't know. There's something about having to set up all the equipment that makes you appreciate just buying a thing and like locking it down and never touching. Like even changing the frame rate on a camera is such a bad idea. Like it's an easy thing to do, but so frequently there's like so many opportunities to totally mess it up.
Oh, yeah.
Where you just forget or you don't change it. Were you in 4K?
Yeah, I was.
So that's why I was overheating.
Whoa.
So
I,
here's,
And, you know,
let me
stuff
show
like
you a
that
good,
happens.
good example of like why not to ever touch anything. This is my wireless microphone receiver, and if you have it on this side right here, it says out. That's like a low level out, and if you put it in the headphone, that's like a high level out, and then everything is like 4 times as loud, and everything peaks. Like
No.
the audio is destroyed if you plug it
pre-amplified.
in the wrong hole.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to just fill
my-
that hole with super glue or something.
Yeah.
It makes me empathize
You
a
just
little
tape
bit
it,
more.
Nah, put
With my
cement in
dad.
there.
So my dad used to work at the LA Times as a photographer, and I, being kind of a kid who was trying to make videos and stuff, would use his camera because he had when I started doing video stuff, a 5D Mark II, which was the first camera that did DSLR that did video. And he would always get very mad at me because that was like his work camera, and I would go in there and I would like change stuff and yada yada yada. And I think I finally understand. Like, imagine going to work. You work for the LA Times. You work for like a major newspaper as a photographer, and you go to do a shoot, and you have no idea what the settings on your camera are because your kid was playing with it.
Well, that's on him for having a kid
Yeah.
more than you.
I have thought about it, and I think he probably should have just bought me a camera at that point. They're like, you can get them pretty cheap.
So you said that was the first DSLR that did video?
Video, yeah.
Wow, I'm looking at an
That
old
was-
article from 2008 about it.
It was they
Whoa.
filmed. I think it was they filmed an episode
House.
of House, and it was one of the first times that people proved that you could use a DSLR to actually do real production. Up until then, everyone just used proper cinema stuff like
Yeah, the DV
industry.
tapes and stuff
yeah,
like
like
that.
standard
Really?
industry stuff.
Huh.
I remember
Well,
that.
doesn't
yeah.
it have like the time limit that you can like record video on it?
I think it was at like maybe 12 minutes, but if you're doing like shots for a show, you're only doing like what, a minute, 30 seconds at a time.
I guess.
I
That
don't
still seems
remember.
kinda,
I don't
know
think
about-
there was a time limit.
The 5D,
Like, at that
I
point?
think there might be a 30-minute,
Yeah, that's like a
or maybe-
tax,
No, that's
though.
everything though.
Or-
I think we've talked about
or maybe
that,
there
right?
isn't.
So that camera would have cost almost $5,000 today.
The 5D Mark II.
Yeah.
And I got it. I was super happy to get it. It was one of my first. It was my first real DSLR, and I got it because it was the woman dropped it and it broke the lens mounting ring. But instead of being like $3,000, I think she sold it to me for like $900 just because of that. I said to be careful that my lens didn't just fall off the camera though.
Yeah.
Which it did a few times, but you know.
Nice.
It's 29 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't remember there being a time limit, but I think we did talk about that with Bernard at some point with Chubby Emu. Yeah, I think it's an import tax.
It is. So if
Yeah.
if you have the limit, it's not a video camera. But if you take the limit away, you get taxed on it being like a primary video camera. So they just save money by putting the limit on.
The damn government.
I used to have that problem with an old camera. Like I'd set it up somewhere far away, hit record, try to like run back to the other side of my yard, get ready, do everything, run back, and it stopped recording, and I missed the shot or whatever.
Oh,
Amazing.
I know.
What was the time limit?
I think that
5?
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes on small.
They're really
cameras.
avoiding the tax there. They were really avoiding it.
a super discount. They felt bad for the customer buying such shitty camera. They subsidized it. I just like the sort of more I don't know how long has YouTube been going on for I mean Alan, Kevin, you're the longest, and then Nigel and Alan I think maybe around the same time, and I'm kind of like
The new kid.
the
new kid on the block.
I just really think that a lot of the technical stuff like that, like having your camera stop recording, that is some of the most migraine-inducing, miserable part of trying to make videos is just dealing with the technical stuff.
Builds character. It'll put hair on your balls.
My rule is you can only, if you want to live a happy, a less sad life, you should, if you have a technical problem, you have to do everything you can so that it never happens again. So usually it only happens to me once.
But what about like the technical problem that you have to deal with every time, right? Like even like setting GoPros up.
I don't use GoPros. That's how I avoid that problem.
Well, you don't make
Haven't
dog
you
shit
seen
videos like the rest of us.
Nigel's? Hasn't Nigel told you about his whole laser setup?
No.
He has like 14 lasers in his office
Alan, you
to make
doubled
sure
or tripled
all of
the
his
laser.
cameras are all. No, but it is technically 14 because each of them has 2, even if you don't use the
Alan's
perpendicular one.
severely exaggerating. This
Wait, are you
Okay,
using
but,
lasers
but
to,
is
like,
it
align
true?
the
Is it true?
frame?
Are there 14 lasers in your office or not? In your lab
the
or
way
not?
it makes sound,
Nigel?
yeah,
No. Yes or no? Are there
I'm
14
counting.
lasers?
I'm on Alan,
There's
Team Alan
6.
right now.
No. There are.
Tell us,
I would say there
how
are
many lasers?
There are 12 individual lasers, but 6 actual like laser levels.
Now I know what it's like to be the audience listening to this. I have no idea what these lasers are for, or
Yeah.
what you do with them. Like, there's no
Elaborate on
context.
this.
I kind of just turn them on and get some sick music going.
Are they so you like have a consistent angle?
when
for
you're
every
saying
shot?
when Nigel says that he like only encounters a technical issue once, he absolutely fucking means it. He has a dozen lasers in his lab that he uses to make sure that his shots are perfectly parallel. The camera, the petri dish. I mean, yeah.
So
you tell
Thank
it.
you for
Nigel.
hyping me up, Alan. Thank you for the introduction. No, so one of the
It's like a real corporate Zoom call going on right now. Thank you for that intro, Alan. Yeah,
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan. I'll take it from here.
Let's talk about Q4, gentlemen.
One of the most annoying things that I had just setting up the shot for me was like everything that I do has to, I mean, just the aesthetic that I've built is things kind of have to be centered. They have to look pretty symmetrical on screen. Yeah, like dead on. And the problem is it's really hard to tell, especially on like a small screen, if you're looking at the item on an angle or your camera's tilted. It's really hard to tell. And I would spend way too long, like just looking at the screen. I even got an external monitor and you still can't tell. Because then you'd watch it later on and it would just be annoying. Like it wouldn't be the shot that I wanted. But then, yes, I found out that there's a way that you can just bolt a laser level to the wall. And then what took like even, let's say 4 minutes to do or 3 minutes of doing stuff, it goes to like 5-10 seconds. So it saved me a
camera has-
lot
Yeah.
of time. Sorry?
The camera has that tool in the camera.
No, but you can't make
physically positioning.
Yeah,
it,
so
right?
if you have like something that's, let's say, a box, I have like this thing here. It doesn't matter when it's small, but when it's big, it becomes really obvious that you're looking at it from an angle. So if I want like a dead-on shot, you'd have to be like, would be very frustrating.
What about just putting tape on the ground where you put the tripod legs?
I have to move everything around, and like the camera, everything just gets moved constantly because I'm looking at it from like different angles.
No, I get it. I get it because I am kind of the same way of, the instant you start taking shortcuts.
Like using the perspective or
like,
the rotate tool in Premiere?
I would do that but when it's but the whole point is the laser gets it close enough that if it annoys me, I can do that. Whereas there have been sometimes where it's like, I think it's great. I look at it later and I'm like, this is actually so off. And I took 15 minutes to do this. This is so sad.
Yeah. We've been taking all the pictures for Cat Warehouse clothes in my garage, and we hung. So I hung some ceiling storage up. That's just some racks that hang from the ceiling. And between the two ones that I hung, I stuck a piece of a 1x2 wood that I had laying around, and we stuck a roll of white paper on that. And so it's very temporary, right? Because this is, I feel like, exactly where this is going is setting stuff up and then making it permanent so you don't have to do the same stupid thing over and over again. And we figured out the best lighting conditions was to use a flash on a reflector. The reflector is a giant piece of styrofoam left over from when I insulated the garage door. And I shove it up on top of the Moldorama machine, wedge it in between the Moldorama machine and the drill press. And then I have my C-stand that I stick my 800 yen flash from Japan on.
Yeah.
And then I have the remote flash trigger that was from one of Michael's old videos, where the camera that makes everyone shorter. So I took that apart and used the flash trigger. And then we have the white background next to it. So it's it's horrible. And I haven't fixed it, and that's just every time we go to take pictures of stuff, I have to drag all this stuff out, drag a giant piece of foam out, shove it on top of this Moldorama machine. It's a really, really, not nightmare, but inconvenient enough to keep you from doing it.
Yeah.
That was for me, which I find it's just setting up the shot, knowing, for example, I was all I need to do, let's say, is pour liquid A, then B in a beaker, mix it around, and then I'm done. That's the entire shot. But I know it's going to take me just as long to kind of set the camera up and make sure it's on the angle that I want, that I'm sometimes I'll do it later. I can film that as B-roll, or I procrastinated because I just know there's this annoying part. But having the laser makes it so it's just brain dead. You just turn it on and you line it up, and that's it.
How do you white balance your shots?
I have a white balancer little thing.
Card?
Yeah.
Do you do it in camera or on the computer?
I do it in camera.
So on
the
the camera I have, the 90D, I have my gray card. I have to hold it in front of the camera, and I don't even know where I'm supposed to put it. I don't know how big it needs to be. I don't know if the camera has to be close to it.
I don't know. I've never looked it up.
Exactly. It's I don't know how it works. I take a picture, and then you have to go into the menu, and you have to find the correct menu and say custom white balance, and you select that picture, and then you have to set the camera to custom white balance. So it's there's no way to make the only way to make that process more efficient
How?
is to buy one of the cinema cameras.
I mean, at least
Because there is
the GH5, it's a better system than what you're saying. If you go to the white balance menu, you just click capture, a thing pops up, you hold the thing, you click set, and it just does it right away.
Yeah, but do you know that there are cameras that the step above, going from DSLR to movie cameras, that just have a button that says white balance? And it just you just point it and it white balances.
Do you white balance, Alan?
No, and it embarrasses me to say that here.
I know.
Alan goes,
I need
define
some
white
backup here.
balance.
I am a big believer in just everything is just automatic, whatever was set on when it left the factory, and I just haven't touched any of that since.
What Alan's trying to say is that God plays a bigger role in his videos than Alan does.
Honestly, a lot of my videos are just Mother Nature.
I think white balancing, it really depends. It's just, you can almost don't need to do it. It does save you time in post. If you have two shots in the same
Assuming that
that's
I would
supposed
do
to
it
be
in
in
post.
But if you have two shots that are supposed to be the same and you cut between them and one's more yellow than the other, it does look pretty horrible.
Yeah, I just let it be horrible. And the kid's like, you know what? This one's yellow and this one's not.
I white balance. I white balance inside. If I'm gonna be spending a lot of time in a room, I white balance for that room. If I'm gonna I think the last video I run inside really quick to yell at Chelsea to come and look at the airbag, and it goes full sodium lamp yellow. I don't care. If you're gonna be spending a lot of time, then it's gonna be kind of a gross experience.
I should say something too. When this whole office was put together, everything is rated at I got everything specifically at 4,000 Kelvin lights. So it's I just white balance kind of it's neutral. That's what I'm in right now.
I did that in my
switch
garage
rooms
too.
and everything. It just you don't need to change.
Yeah.
I have yellow lights behind me and white lights in front of me, and the windows over there are open, but the one there is not open.
I see some blue on that side. I see some warm on the whiteboard.
Yeah, look, it's dynamic. There's blues.
You know what? I agree. I agree with Alan. I like
yours
House
isn't very
lights.
good. Will's is the best.
You know, Alan's got halogen bulbs though, right? So I think that's.
Oh, these are
actually
LEDs.
helping.
These are LED replacements for halogen.
So then they don't look as bad as I would think they would look, because the house lights typically look really bad on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever talked about exactly what's going on with those lights and the experiment I did?
Oh, they're I think they're discontinued, maybe for a good reason, but I'm pretty sure they're based off of these miniature track lights that you could find at IKEA. So it's the lights are supposed to be fitted onto a fun-looking track that is at 12
put them on the
12 volts or something. So they're low voltage, and for whatever reason, the landlord of this building, instead of using the track lighting system, just ran wires down out of the ceiling that just come out of holes, and then
the legs, it's like steel legs, like little
are
rods
just coming down
right through the drywall,
and they're just screwed right into these little lamps that I'm pretty sure are supposed to be mounted in something, but instead they're just fucking freeballing, and that's how the lights are on in here. They're screwed in. They're screwed in.
The metal rods that come through the drywall and the ceiling are conductors.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, the original track lighting system they're supposed to be a part of had a similar setup. It was exposed.
But if somebody went in the attic and dropped a screw, and it rolled and went across, it would be shorting 12 volts.
12 volts.
A
mouse.
Okay, did you touch my pocket knife when I put my pocket knife across it?
Yes, it was extremely hot. I don't know. What's your point?
I just thought it was cool. You got a little resistive heater set up in your ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, if you need a 12-volt source, you just stick some alligator clips up there, and you got it.
My battery. I swear to God, you should do that.
Charge your battery
in a video for a bit. You just get a chair, you put alligator clips on it, and then it turns the microprocessor on. I think it's AC though. I think you'd have to rectify it.
Yeah. I get a capacitor and a diode and plug it into an Arduino, and that's how it's getting power. Yeah, I don't. They finally set up the demolition next door. There's a fence that's up now, so any day now
it's going
to happen any day now. Well, Will helped me move into this new place, and on day one, what was it? You were talking to the neighbors, and they mentioned there was oh yeah, the house next door to yours is about to be demolished.
The neighbors were complaining because it looked like they were moving, and I found a little sign in front of the house because you have to publicly show it, and it said that there was
notice of demolition.
Or notice of demolition.
Yeah, and it was halfway under a bush, and then there was a trailer parked in the driveway, so you could never see it from where my house was. So I had no idea.
Yeah, and then the neighbors were the people that were living there, for whatever reason, we were talking to them, and they were saying about how it was going to be demolished and yada yada yada. And can you imagine? You make YouTube videos.
I can imagine.
You're moving into a house, and the house right next to you is about to be demolished. Probably one of the worst combinations.
Yeah, the house, it's like roughly it's a solid 20 feet away from where I sleep, and we talked to them, and they want to just raise the entire structure, demolish the entire thing and replace it with a 2-story house, because right now it's a 1-story house. So it's gonna be biblical when they start. It's gonna be like
so loud,
crazy.
Getting rid of it isn't going to be
Why-
that bad, but they're going to be there for months building it back up.
playing
Yeah.
music. Have you ever like gone past a construction site like that?
Oh,
They're always
yeah.
blaring music.
So that any day now, but I mean, the lease started in January and it's November now. So I managed to go 11 months without any problems next door.
I have
God
a feeling,
bless Los Angeles.
Yeah. Well,
The permit took so long to actually like follow through on that I had an
they said
entire
you're-
year.
bureaucracy is bad. My ass. I love bureaucracy. You should
'cause I
file a
think
report.
We were like, I think I was like looking into it like that whole month because I was so worried because that was like I was about to leave to do that TV show with Mark Rober, and I was like, well, I don't even know if I'm going to come back and if there's going to be a house next to this house, and it was like there's the laws are so strict for land development here that they have rules that are literally like weird Magic the Gathering cards where like they have effects that like you'll tap and they come into effect if you do something wrong, where it's like if you do any part of this process wrong,
There's a damage multiplier.
yeah, like if you do anything wrong, not only will they make you like undo all the work you've done on that lot, they will also like specifically ban you or whatever entity did it for like the next 5 years for doing any development of any kind.
I mean, that's good
So it's like
incentive to not do bad
Yeah,
things.
you have to do it right. You have to
It's
do
like
it
a
right.
scorched earth.
Yeah, it's like, oh, were you halfway done with this house? Well, now you're not,
Tear
and
it
also
down.
this lot has to stay empty for the next 5 years.
Oh my god. You know that somebody did some pretty bad shit though for them to get that.
Well, yeah,
nasty
like
with
because
it.
I mean, it's off. Like theoretically, it's all like once this starts, it's actually gonna be probably like unlivable in here, which is why it was like so like messed up that the landlord just like didn't mention that when I like signed the lease and moved in.
I would say
You know, they're gonna start at like 7 in the morning. They're gonna go to like 5-6 p.m. It's just gonna be hammers.
So-
It's gonna be
Gonna
nails
be
and hammers.
so cool.
So here's the one thing I'll say is, first of all, waking up at 7 a.m., maybe that's a blessing, Howland. Maybe that's a blessing.
No,
Alan did not wake up
no.
at 7.
I didn't take this job to wake up at 7 in the morning.
Nigel,
I
what
took
time do you
this
wake
job
up?
so I could wake up right before noon.
I wish I could wake up at 7 a.m.
What are you talking about then?
No, I'm joking.
What time do you wake
I actually,
up?
9.
Put your money where your mouth
But I
is.
actually, the apartment I moved
Say
into had
won't say
construction.
it.
I said 9. But
9.
ideally, I want to get
9
up at like
p.m.
8. But it's just like the apartment I moved.
Ideally, I want to get up at 8, but it'd be a blessing to get up at
It
7.
would be. If I could get up at 7 and not hate myself, I would do it. But the apartment I moved into had construction that started at 6 a.m. for like 2 or 3 months. Like I never slept past 6 something. I had to wake up and like, because I don't like earplugs, but I have to like jam the earplugs in my ears just to be able to deal with it. There should be jackhammers and like.
What size earplug? You should. They sell really.
No, once
like,
the
tiny
earplugs are in, it's fine. I just didn't feel like I didn't like putting it in like.
Wait,
at
you don't
night.
the act of put that half a second where it transitions from out of your ear to into your
That's
ear.
the
That's
best
the
part.
thing that
You can feel it expanding.
No, I don't dislike it. I'm saying that I didn't feel like going to bed when it's just quiet. I was like, I'm not going to put in earplugs. And they often fall out when I'm sleeping. So then I would just, even when I did that, I would just wake up at like 6 and just jackhammers going. And sometimes it'd be
How
so
do you-
loud
you
and
gotta
they
put
should
them
annoying.
not
deep
fall out.
enough.
I'm like, what?
No, my earplugs fall. I when I was in college, I first started wearing earplugs when I would sleep because I had a roommate that would snore.
Yeah.
And then it sort of became this weird thing for a while where even after like I moved out, I still like had to put them in to go to sleep because it became part of like the weird like my body's
Oh, yeah.
ritual of like nighttime. It's like oh, it has to be dark and there has to be things in my ears, otherwise I can't sleep.
I think I just, because like, Will,
And my bed has to be soaked with piss.
Will, you mentioned before.
Oh yeah, don't even get me
you
started
sleep with,
on
like,
the
a mask
piss. I
on,
need
right?
that.
I do. I sleep with a mask and earplugs.
I cannot wear a mask. And the reason why is I apparently take it off. I just pull it off like a couple hours after I fall asleep. I put the mask on, and often you wake up like 4 hours later or 5 hours later, whatever. I wake up for a second. It's never been on, and I would lose it. It's just gone. I like take
How
it
tight
off
do you wear
and I
it?
just throw it. No, like I think I actually take it off in my sleep and throw it off the bed.
I got a nicer one. I got like I don't even remember what it is, but I got a nicer one that has 2 straps and it just fits a little bit better. It's more like a respirator mask where it's like the one up top and one down below. And it stays on much better.
Yeah.
And it's softer too, so it's not as uncomfortable.
I'm sure there's a solution, but I pull it off
like
and
to
throw
sort of
it.
I like to sort of just disappear when I go to bed.
My dogs like to eat mine.
The mask?
I only
Or
use
the
it like if
earplugs?
I wake up at 6 in the morning and I want to get
And it's
another hour of
bright or
sleep.
something. Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't deal with it. Like it'll start sliding around in my face.
Yeah. I don't mind
No,
it.
you guys are using shitty masks.
Well, it's,
You gotta get a nice
if I
one.
wake up and it's bright out and I want to go to bed, often I don't have a mask because I just never got into them. But if I have like a hat or something, I'll put it in.
I'll super glue my eyes.
No, if I have like a hat or something, I'll just like cover my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't take it off in the morning. Like even if it's 6 and I get up at like 9, I don't take it off. But if I go to bed with it, I just take the hat off and I throw it. I don't know.
I'll pull the blankets up over my head.
I do
and
that
I'll wake
too.
up 10 minutes later because I can't breathe.
Because it smells like farts.
I need it loud.
You know what
though.
I want to try? I want to try like a 2-part mold of my own head that like bolts shut. And you just put that over your head.
blocks
and you
your
sleep
ears
with
and
that on.
everything.
You just
Yeah,
cut
it's like
cut
6
it
inches
open.
thick, and it's just like foam and urethane, and it
morning.
just like blocks out
Alan, you'll
everything.
probably wake up and think you're dead. You're like completely sensory deprived. You're like
Experiment succeeded.
you'll just wake up and have no senses.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
It worked.
It worked finally.
I've been wanting to for years get a mattress and try to like run coolant lines through it.
I want that for a pillow.
My mattress has a bunch of. It's a foam mattress and it has
Water
a bunch of like
cooled.
1/4-inch holes that go to the bottom. So I thought the same thing. You could turn it into like an air hockey
Air
table.
cool it.
What
Yeah.
what I said is I want it to be actually refrigerated, so you have a little compressor going.
Yeah.
And you turn it on. It's like it sounds like the fridge is kicking on, and it's like cooling.
I think the problem with trying to cool the mattress though is there a way to pump water where you don't feel the pump in the fluid? Because like you
Yeah.
would feel the pump.
I don't think so.
No,
I want one in a pillow too.
maybe like
Like a pearl static pump or something.
peristaltic.
Yeah, yeah. Or a
I think it's
I
peristaltic.
wanted
an
to see-
impeller pump.
Because it's like
Those are
it's
smooth.
like a tube that just gets squeezed by a roller, right?
Yeah.
So it's like maybe theoretically gentler.
I think an impeller pump
Yeah,
would be the gentle.
that one you would still potentially feel the motor. I think yeah, I don't know. I feel like peristaltic might be the best.
What
One
if
of
it
the
was
better
what
solutions.
if you had like a water tower outside the room and then you like gravity
yeah.
bring it in and then you had to
That's
pump
ac-
outside your room.
I think that's a good idea. That's a capacitor. You're buffering your booster that's got a vibration, a resonance to it.
Yeah, maybe it's a water tank on your roof and it fills up during the day and so then at night it's the entire water and there's
It
no
just
moving
soaks
parts
your
at
bed
night.
with water.
What if you just slept in a bathtub and had the shower running?
In the toaster. Toasting.
I mean, I sleep really hot. I
do too.
I am always very, very, very hot in bed.
You can say that again.
No, I think
And
having
it's like,
sorry, no, continue.
well, it's like because it's like, what is the meme? Is like people like, oh, like may that man like sleep on both his sides of his pillow is
Yeah.
cold or however it goes. Like I don't know. You think has anyone invented like your drink cooler, a Peltier cooled like pillow?
I want that for
There's a
I've
hot
seen-
side and a
I
cold
want that
side.
for the pillow, the bed, and the covers. So you have a full. You go to bed and you can set like 21.5 degrees C, and that's it. That's what you have.
There are
That's actually really cool. You'd
contraptions
probably
that blow
freeze.
air under the cover. So like there's one that I don't think it was very successful. I mean all this stuff is like a gimmick because it's going to be
Yeah.
atrociously expensive
and
for the
not
market
work
that's
that
there.
well.
And not work that well. But it was like a vent that would kind of sit on the foot of the bed, like it would like hook on to the edge. And oh my god, Kevin's.
Oh, he's back. He's here.
Why is because it says recording failed under your name.
Oh, and he's gone.
He's probably,
Why do you
just
think
hear
it's me? Because it literally is you.
What? Why is your shit so broken?
if this happened all the time,
Kevin, do you have an HDMI out?
I
You
might have
must
an answer for you.
Definitely have an HDMI out, right? So just get.
Where's your video feed
Just
coming
get-
from?
This is your camera.
Yeah. Oh wait,
Is
that's
it
the
HDMI
problem.
or USB?
Nigel has my camera.
Yeah, I stole it.
that's Nigel. Give him his.
I was like,
camera
how do you
back.
open
Is it-
this thing?
Are you doing USB or HDMI?
HDMI.
You are doing
Oh, I
HDMI.
thought you were going USB.
No, I'm Wi-Fi streaming it.
Wait, what?
I'm not.
Well,
it's
I don't know.
HDMI. I just wanted to see Will have a little stroke right there.
And to a capture card?
That's my secret. I'm always having a stroke.
If it's to a I don't really have an answer for you then.
Well, either
Maybe
way,
it's
it
like
works
a
now.
loose HDMI. Let me kick my computer a little bit.
That's my wife's. Just don't keep the computer.
Turns off.
Yes, gone.
The whole thing's
He's
shaking.
kicking. He's kicking.
Nope.
It's fine.
Anyways, the invention was this thing that would blow air under the covers.
That sounds
So
It
it's
was
like,
just like a
on the
Dutch
from the
oven machine.
foot up.
Yeah.
So it'll be blowing air like up your butt.
yes.
Yeah, up your butt, into your toes, between your toes, and then into your butt.
Right. Yes, Alan.
That doesn't sound that nice the way you're describing.
No.
I don't think I'd want that.
Sounds great.
I think the good news is though is that videos about sleep tend to do well, or so I've heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Because what do you think people are googling in the middle of the night when they can't?
Oh yeah.
So you're saying that we all have to come up with sleep-related videos?
I feel like this is gonna be easiest for Nigel.
Yeah. I can come up with a lot of things that are sleep-related.
Oh wait, do you have a Nile Blue video yet?
I do.
Ah.
Hey, you can't say that.
Or sorry.
No,
okay.
no, no,
Oh
no.
my
bleep that.
God.
I can
Just
bleep
Doesn't
that.
matter.
Just joking. Yeah, it's done.
Is
It's
it
been done
up?
for like
Is it
2
up?
weeks. No, it's gonna go up very shortly.
Humble brag.
No, the reason actually why it's delayed is because I finished it on like let's say a Thursday, and I was like, with Alan, you kind of know this because I was like, I finished it and I was like, I should probably have an ad sponsorship for this. So then I'm like,
because
as a joke, I'm like, hey Tara,
we
can
were-
you have one? Let's say like for tomorrow, and she's like, well, no.
we were in Canada, and I do a weekly meeting with Concurrent, and it was like me and Audrey were just in one of James's offices, and then Nigel came and he was like, "You can have a weekly meeting?" And like, yeah, because we're trying to make videos.
No, because Alan's like, because I make videos. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good point. yeah.
And then Nigel proceeds to hijack my Concurrent meeting to try and get a sponsorship for his Nile
To be
Blue
fair,
video.
Alan-
This channel is more important than
Alan,
yours.
to be fair, I said, oh, anyway, like, have a good meeting. And Alan's like, no, you can talk.
You're right. I invited you into it. I brought it upon myself.
You guys try to make videos?
Yeah. No, it's just funny. I'm like, no way, you have weekly meetings? And they're just like, yeah, because Alan's actually making videos. You haven't posted anything in 8 months. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Weekly meetings wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, it's like, when was the last time you'd even talked to anyone from Concurrent before that?
Anything. It's like, yeah, that's a good point.
The only update I have is how long it's been since I posted this video.
Actually, the only update would be occasionally David messages me and goes, so are you making videos again? And I'm like, no. He's like, okay. Just like there's nothing else.
See you in 5 months.
Nothing else.
At least you respond.
Like, that's the weekly meeting. Are you still doing nothing? Yep. Okay. Let me know when that changes.
You know, if we worked real jobs, I'm pretty sure this behavior would have gotten us all fired long ago.
I'm ignoring my boss David right now for the time being.
Wait, Kevin, do you have a video that's been done for 2 weeks like Nigel? Are you also a good
It's
boy?
basically done.
Basically done.
Alan,
I'm
It's
in
not-
like it's an editing purgatory right now.
I wanna say it's not being good.
It's like 10%.
I just
done.
finished it and I was going to post it, but then I realized it's stupid to not get a sponsorship.
Have you considered Raid Shadow Legends?
I was like, you know what? I probably should get a sponsorship.
Have you thought about Bang Energy or
Wait,
Fat
Kevin,
Sal's? We're making
when's your
sandwiches
video
over
going
here.
Last week I said last weekend. This week I'm saying this weekend.
But what is the reality?
Next weekend.
Kevin's like, who knows?
You guys want to like have a betting pool?
Sure.
I just want to see the video.
I want to do one about Nigel's videos. We'll do one about your videos too.
Okay, well first, I don't know. I think how
Because
many
Nigel
videos?
says he's going to make 4 videos
Guaranteed.
this year.
I was
And
going to say per
there's-
year.
There's
That's how you'd have to
7
do it
weeks
with
left in
Nigel.
this year.
Oh yeah, that's not much time actually. Now that I think about it.
It's really impressive, Nigel. Teach me the ways.
No,
Show me how to sit for 3 quarters of the year, and then get all your videos out in the last quarter.
I mean, see, it's a very simple trick.
Now I know why you had that drink cooler, because you just sit on your ass all day doing nothing.
It's a very simple trick, and I'll teach it to you when you're ready.
In one easy step.
Nigel is simultaneously the world's busiest man and the least productive worker at the same time.
It's all in his
No,
head.
honestly,
100%.
it's true. No, like I do a lot of. I do a lot. Like the problem is, I spent the last like many months just filming stuff because I was like, I just don't feel like editing, so I just kept filming. But there are many times where it's like in the moment, I'm like, man, I am so busy that I hate this, and it'll go on for a while. Then it ends, and I go, what did I do for the last 3 months? Like I was like, man, like I don't even remember what I did. How was I busy?
That's what I do
like
when it's time to start filming.
Are the carbon monoxide detectors in your office working?
I don't know. I mean, they never go off. So
There's also no batteries in them, so it's a win-win.
yeah.
Kevin, wait. So how like your editing process, like the purgatory? How long do you think that usually takes? I feel like for me, I always think that I know what I'm doing, and then about 2 months later, I have a video.
Yeah.
I always
Okay, no, I started working on this video like 2 months ago, probably when we got back from Japan, which was like when August.
Yeah, I guess.
End of
Jesus.
No, August.
So that's like
Not Jesus.
I don't know. I started working on it and then I filmed it, and right now I'm kind of like going back and looking at the footage and realizing that wow, I didn't film as much as I thought I should have.
in what way? You're just
Well,
like
it's like, you know, the
missing stuff?
transition between like I don't know, like how to make it flow good from one thing to another. It's like I should have said this there because that would have easily like made the next part easy to introduce or something.
That's
Well,
what
I mean,
narration's for.
Yeah, voiceover.
And then I have like
cards.
so I filmed over like 2 or 3 days and it just doesn't match up. Like the time of day doesn't match up for like when things should happen in order because it was cloudy one day and then sunny the other day. It would be like it doesn't make sense.
I think
Make it
that's
look like
fine.
multiple days.
yeah.
Have it be yellow in one shot and white in another. I think
Yeah.
it's fine.
Just blame the white balance.
Yeah.
Say the auto white balance.
But wait, what's the problem? You just you can just say they're different days now.
Well, okay, so I had 6 rockets and 4 of them worked and then the last 2 didn't work. And I just kind of introduced those last 2 rockets like, oh, this is the last 2 rockets. Let's do it. That one didn't work. Number 5 didn't work. Then I'm like, okay, this is the very last one. I hope it works. And then it didn't work. And then like the day before, they were working and like, I don't, you know, so.
Yeah, I think this is something that I've been thinking about recently of you are your own worst enemy working with your own footage. Like there's something about having too much
Exactly.
information about what you've done where you're trying to like tell a story a little bit too literally. Whereas,
Yeah.
you know, working with somebody who, I don't want to say just working with an editor because it's hard to find
I'll
a
tell
good
you a
editor.
secret
But
after.
I don't, not any of Nigel's advice won't apply to any of us. You are a like freak of nature.
No.
on
It's
YouTube.
actually a legitimate tip.
Okay. All I was going to say is it's sometimes good to have an outside
Yes.
perspective. It's hard to find that person.
All my tip is that if you film a video and then post it 1 year later, that's when you start editing it. just listen. Will does it all the time. So if you film something and then look at the footage a year later, you forget 95% of it. So you are like
it becomes a stranger's
yeah,
footage.
you are like
I take
all the
back
stuff
my
that you missed,
mud
right?
slinging. That's actually big brain.
you are like the external.
I'm sorry for
view.
jumping so quickly.
What if we all just traded videos? What if we all just gave each other our footage in a circle and then we
I feel like
all
we've
had
talked
to
about
edit
this.
each other?
That would
Like a
actually be
circle
pretty
jerk.
fun.
Yeah. It's like a circle with 4 jerks in it. Or a circle jerk, if you will.
The jerk circle.
Yeah, a jerk circle.
I think it would be interesting to have somebody else edit your stuff. Like it.
I want to get my hands on a NileRed video. I want to narrate a NileRed video.
The video will make.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on
It
here.
will make 0 sense. Like actually 0 sense.
Come on, that would be a great like April Fool's video or something. Come on, give me one of your videos, Nigel.
It's like me narrating
I'll do zero research.
electronic stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on in this frame. Imagine if I made your snake legs and you never
Alan's
told me about
secret. He
it.
also has no idea what's
I would
going
just be confused.
on. How do you think we make our videos, Nigel?
You're right. You're right.
All right, let's go to Patreon. Thank you guys, everybody who supports the podcast. The greatest hour of your week if you don't pay us, and if you do pay us, you get more than an hour. I think it might even be a full % of your week if you support us on Patreon.
Wow, great value there.
I wouldn't take it that far, but 4. We got 2 tiers. What are the tiers again?
I
What's the
have
small
no idea.
one? Whatever. One of them. Both get you access to our Discord where we answer your questions. Kevin, want to pick a good question that we can use to tease people?
Yeah, let me get one.
And then the bigger tier, you get a Polaroid from us every 3 months, and you get lots of extra content. And
They,
by lots
want to
of
see how many
extra content,
Skittles
I mean
we
some
can fit in our
extra
belly
content.
button.
What was the
That's not really a
question?
question.
They want to see how many Skittles we can fit in our belly button.
Yeah, that's not a question.
That's a fetish.
I'm not putting that footage on the internet.
Hold on. Do I have anything that's the size of Skittles? I have some double A batteries.
No, God, I don't
I have
see
this
it.
little
All I have
battery.
is double A battery. All I have is golf balls. Thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. Here's the list. Everybody, point at somebody. Look how good and attractive this person right here is. I'm following the name up, probably at the wrong speed.
I don't know if there's enough names. I'm just doing a gun motion.
Yeah, no,
here.
I think they're everywhere. I figured that we'd start putting the names at the end because we should give credit to the people that, pay. I feel like we should pay them money.
some
Then it
sort of
ends.
reverse Patreon.